wisdom is those deep things that actually help us to know what the right thing to do is in this moment. And I think that's what we struggle with more than anything else. Particularly when you go, oh, I can just look it up on my phone and I can get the information right now. That's not wisdom, because it's still just gathering information. No, wisdom is that deeper thing that helps us know, do we go left or do we go right? It is the deeper thing within our neuro pathways. I talk about this at Lent every year, about how the fact that, I get people to cross their arms and say, look, try to do it the other way. And sometimes we get really good at that, and some people go and practice. But, it takes 1,000 times to do something new for it to become automatic. And it takes 10,000 times to correct that activity. I can tell you what, I'm trying to do that with my walking at the moment, because I keep getting knee pain because my knee doesn't bend the right way, and I've got to think about it and bend it the right way. But it's habits that actually produce that wisdom to know what is the right thing in that moment. And I know I've always talked about the pilot who landed the plane on the Hudson River, whose hobby was gliding, who had the idea in that moment that his plane was never going to make the airport, but that he had to glide that plane onto the Hudson River. No one had ever done it. No one has ever done it since, thankfully, but he had the wisdom to be in the situation of knowing, I have no engines and I need to glide this plane to save everyone's lives. And you look at the mathematical possibility of doing it, it isn't so small. Now, in our lives, we can have information. We can look up what's the right thing to do in this moment, and we might even be able to put multiple things together, but actually having the wisdom to know that another drink is one too many, or whatever the situation is, or whatever your temptation is to turn the other way. Well, that's only coming from knowing and from the wisdom of building the habit of turning the other direction when we meet that. But wisdom applies in other areas as well, and that's where I think the second reading is really helpful, because the second reading actually gives us some information.